So what do you...
Shut up! 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to TCG University. It's me, Noah, here with...
James.
And Oliver.
We're going to be talking about Opus 19, the format for Opus 19, and just a general overview of cards and things that we think are problems, might not be problems, whatever the case is. Kickstart, always like, comment, share, subscribe. Support us on Patreon. That would be very appreciated. We do have a TCG Player Pro.
Yep. You want me to...
No, go ahead.
TCGuniversity.tcgplayerpro.com. It's very convoluted, but it's a lot. There's a link in the description below.
Yeah, you focus more on that than I do.
We have cool T-shirts. They're also down in the description.
Yeah, like, no, just kidding. This is actually low key. If we just had like a,
if you want, we
just
can
a
do
plane
something
with like a
like
logo.
that. We can do something.
We
like
put a cool thing on the back, like this one's got comics.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, but we have some cool ones out there, so make sure to check that out. We still have the Everything Dies the Fan for shirt.
I wear that all the time.
I'm gonna find a way to get that. I want to get hashtag James Sucks. I'm gonna get that one remade. And then I want to do hashtag lame.
Hashtag that works.
That is my slogan.
Yeah.
It is my play style.
Heyo.
When are we gonna get the hashtag Noah Sucks from KC?
Wow.
No,
I did really good in KC compared to everybody else here. I'm currently the number one player in Omaha. That's a little depressing. Okay. How do we want to kick this off? I know you both have a list of cards. I'm just going to base off what you go with.
Do we want to talk about the meta right now and then
Yes,
talk about
I think we should talk about
after?
I think we should talk about the meta and like explain like what's being played, like why are people playing it, and then talk about problem cards
in a
afterwards.
few words, give a short, brief. What do you think the meta's like? Oliver
Wolf.
first. Get messed up.
Multicolor decks.
Wool.
You don't have to use one word, guys, or two.
My bad. Warrior of Light.
Okay, whatever.
3.
I use 3.
I think.
I think it's just 3 decks. It's kind of just 2 in my opinion.
No, I think currently it's 3 big ones. Your 3 big ones are anything that plays wool, anything that plays for wool, like Rydia, Une Wool, whatever.
I want to change my
Mono
answer.
Water Leo
I got it.
and Cat 6.
I got my list.
Okay.
I actually think it's 2 decks, and then like 4 on the bottom, which is I think it's. I actually think so. 3 top decks. I think it's Wool base, Soiree Wool, Water, and then at the bottom you have Water Lightning 6.
Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah,
and base Soirees, and there's one more I had in my head before I forgot it.
You got this. I believe in you.
PPR, Pound Port Radio.
Okay.
Deck, which doesn't have to include Wool. I think that deck is weaker than base Wool and Soiree Wool, but it's still Wool. But I think the top 2 are just Soiree Wool, and Water.
Yeah.
Which Water gets fucking nuts, even next format. It's gonna be disgusting.
Problem cards. The problem cards will just break into what we think about the current format.
Wool.
So I only have.
No.
I might be a little salty because I lost to a wool, but like honestly, like even playing the card, like playing the deck that I modified, that I took to KC, I modified and put wool into the deck, and like have not dropped a game with that deck in actual tournaments. Like
it's just
every time I play that deck, I win locals.
it's
Wool is a problem. I think Wool is 100% should be on everybody's list. That card needs to go. Word Spaghetti, and then if you play it from hand, like actually cast it from hand, nuttier even so.
And it's not that hard to do that, especially
if you replay it. It's Word Spaghetti still on.
When you get 2 colors out of 1 backup, which is Sarah to search for Princess Sarah.
Yeah.
You could have the out with a Ratsu, but like, oh no, they'll just play a 5th backup that color fixes, whether it be Tyro or Keita.
Yeah.
It's just too good.
Wool does too much. Obviously, he's a keyword soup, 10k, that can 5k things. That can has haste, so he can attack whenever he wants. He's got Brave. He restands all your backups, so he's essentially free, and draws you a card, so he replaces himself.
Yeah.
I think that card's a problem because currently, a good chunk of decks are more than likely playing Wool.
Yep.
You take Wool out, and a lot of these decks can still function, but they don't have.
How many decks are playing Wool right now? Is there a way to look at that?
You can search decks.
Just search Wool?
You can search decks by specific cards that run it. So
if tournament's a meta, right?
And then you search for cards, and then you just search.
Wait, what's this top element? Oh, card name. Wool.
Yeah, Warrior of Light.
Oh, wait,
they can't see this, but
yeah. So
I think you have to actually search Warrior.
Yeah, you have to search Warrior of Light. Yeah.
You guys can't see this, but we're
popularity.
4% of decks. That's 4% of all decks made.
No, that's 4% of the tournament decks, I believe.
So
would that be all tournaments or
frequency? Oh wait, hold on.
It's so confusing.
Popularity.
Yeah.
It only goes by popularity.
Okay.
Can I do?
I think it's just going by all tournament results ever.
Yeah.
Which means Wool is in 4% of every tournament result ever entered into FF decks.
Well, I don't want to be.
Released.
I don't want to be that per. I know Wool's.
Go to the top real quick. Can you change since Opus? That says Opus 14 release.
So should we do 2 months ago?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. 2 months ago, we'll give you a better, accurate representation.
See if we can do it.
Yep.
I don't know if it'll work as good. 29%.
Yeah.
136. 29%. That's
Yep.
pretty big. Is that the biggest chunk? I don't know. Top element.
The top element won't matter.
Yeah.
Other mono water's the top element. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If for decks that put water. That put like single element.
Yeah.
Because if I'm playing Wool, I'm putting other. Because
Wool is in 88% of the decks that say deck of other element.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wool may be a problem. Just maybe.
A little bit. Just a little bit. Card is
still just 22%.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I feel like these percentages are low, but I guess.
Well, you also have to think about
2 months.
Yeah.
Because it's 41%.
Yeah.
Mist Dragon's 41%.
Yeah.
40 for.
Oh, so here you go. So Wool is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards down.
Yeah.
Wool is the 6th most played card.
Yeah.
And the last 2 months tournament wise.
When did
obviously Kusith, Mist Dragon, Toto, Amaterasu, and Tyro are going to exist. Those aren't actually problems really.
No.
They're all pretty fair and balanced cards. Mist Dragon might be a little nuts currently, but like.
Actually, one of those cards is on my list.
Oh, which one is it? Is it Tyro?
It's Tyro.
Because Tyro color fixes.
Color fix, and it's in the EX burst. So Ksith, damage 3 pickup. Damage 3 pickup into color fixes.
Well,
so
it picks up regardless, but color fixes.
Color fix at damage 3. So you have to be at damage 3 to color fix. So it's not always going to color fix if you're in the lead. Say like if you get ahead as Wool, that thing doesn't color fix. Shantoto is a 7-drop that board wipes, which is fine. Yeah, I get that. It's no one ever really plays more than one unless you absolutely want to play 2.
I mean, playing 2 is probably the better bet sometimes.
Sometimes. It depends on the deck. Like, if you can recur it and get rid of it, whatever. But, like, Tyro, why not just slap 3 in it? It has the X burst, color fixes, always get you a card when you play it. Like, there's no downside to playing Tyro, outside of the fact that you could say, but it could be another card in my deck. Well, you can say that about anything you play 3 of in your deck.
Yep.
Except this Tyro says, search any forward.
Yep.
I was thinking about it today, I think Tyro is a problem.
When every deck that is an other base color and plays Earth in some capacity.
Before we had Tyro, it didn't color fix, but there was Star Sybil. Star Sybil was Tyro before Tyro because it searched for a specific type.
It was the that always searched something.
And then it free played just about anything you wanted to play in your deck generally.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like Tyro helps Earth in its consistency to find things, which is the issue. I think because Wool exists,
Earth would lose out on it.
I think because Wool existing makes Tyro more busted.
I don't think so. I think Tyro being by itself makes every Earth whatever deck just nutty. Because every single Earth deck that mains a second color plays Tyro.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single deck that plays the same color that isn't going to play Tyro.
Yeah. Anytime I look at Earth and I'm going to play Earth plus other colors, Tyro is one of those cards I look at.
Tyro obviously is your best Earth backup you want to play in any Earth deck.
The three cards for Earth is Tyro, Kutsith, and Mist Dragon. Those are the 3 cards I look at anytime I'm playing Earth or any other color.
Depending on how you play it, you're probably almost hitting up 9 slots in every deck with those.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, for me, it'd be...
I eat up at least 4 base.
7 slots base.
I
do 3 Kusa, 2 Mist Dragon, 2 Tyro.
If there's ever a moment where I don't want to play Tyro, like if I'm not needing to color fix, 4 is base. 2, 2 Kusa, 2 Mist Dragon. If I want to play Tyro, like I don't play Tyro in Avalanche, because I don't really need to. But if I wanted to, I would still probably play 3 because that deck only has like 8 EX and it's very bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was an idea to add. But
so Wool.
Tyro's definitely on my list.
I think Wool does too much and generates too much value.
Yeah. It sometimes can be free value, which is dumb.
And he makes cards that are generally pretty okay, pretty solid.
Bad.
It really fucking busted
because
of him being searchable.
One of those cards is Venera, the dark Venera, that says on attack, break a crystal, everything, make everyone lose 5k. Yeah, it just dies to Wool because Wool just says tap, deal 5k. So Venera is no longer a card that's meta relevant because of that.
She can't ever keep a board low.
The spaghetti on that, the spaghetti text on that is just so nuts.
The only card currently I've found that I feel like is the best silver bullet to use against Wool, which I mean, there's got to be more, but Sid Sophia for sure is. I stand behind that backup as being the card that tells Wool. Again? It takes all of Wool's keywords and transfers it to another forward.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
For the turn or just
for the turn?
For the turn.
It's one earth and tap it.
But you can do something on the play.
Yeah. I played yesterday. I don't think I won that game, but somebody had slapped Wool down in front of me. And I was like, cool, I'll take his keywords and give it to my Gladiolus.
Choo-Choo-Lane's still very good versus it.
Yeah, blanking him. Anything that blanks him.
I honestly think Leviathan's very good versus him bouncing it. But also, in my opinion, that Leviathan is a problem.
The 3CP one?
Yeah. The free play.
The card that people aren't playing, the Alchemist and Ice that says get rid of haste and I think haste for strike and brave. Mm-hmm. Specifically says you on the board you just break it and you get rid of all his keywords.
I mean, there's answers to Wool, but some of these answers aren't super common. The only super common ones, in my opinion, are going to be Choo-Choo-Lane and maybe Sid Sophia if you're playing if people are playing more 15.
Yeah,
and that's like a stretch.
That's a stretch.
Choo-Choo-Lane is really
and like Leviathan.
Like I don't even think a lot of people are playing that Leviathan. I play 2 of it,
which I don't. I think it's only because they don't. I think Yuna makes it bad. Is how they feel, and I don't.
It's still a 1-cost bounce that they can't recast. I'm sorry. I know Yuna doesn't make it free, but I don't care about Yuna not making it free.
That card's nuts.
Technically, Yuna makes it cost 2 less.
I mean, yeah. Like that's still not bad.
I don't get why if people aren't playing it, they aren't playing it. Because to me, that card says get rid of anything.
Next card. So we have Wool. People obviously can leave comments about how they feel about Wool. Une. Okay, Une is one I brought up. I said Une is too techie. I think Une is too good at just being a spot tech.
I think it's too good as a 4-drop.
Yeah.
I think a 6-drop, I'm fine with it.
It almost always is a 4-drop.
I'm fine with it as a 6-drop if it didn't have the pay to.
I don't think I've seen a single person cast Une for 6. I will never cast Une for 6.
I've had to do it once or twice, but only because I didn't have summons.
Yeah. Une, you don't even need a summon heavy deck for Une either. No. That's the gross part.
You just have to hit enough summons.
And she's searchable by Sildra, which we'll get to. Une is a problem because Une is a 4-drop that gets rid of two characters on board essentially, and then sits there recurring summons constantly depending on the deck you play.
The only card that does anything close to that is literally Leviathan, and that's a 9-drop that you have to play for a 9 unless you're playing Lina.
Yeah. I mean, you can free play Une off Lina too. So realistically, if you're going for just the base cost, the cheapest you can cast them, Une is better. Yeah. Une gets rid of 2 instead of 3.
But
doesn't neg, but like who cares?
Leviathan gets rid of 2 plus 2, maybe.
Maybe.
I
think bouncing backups that are super important and integral for somebody's
bouncing a Tyro feels pretty good.
Bouncing a Tyro, bouncing a Princess Sarah, bouncing a Shinju. They have to recast. They have to take a turn off to recast that because they can't just cast anything else until they do that. I think Une buys you a turn and just sets you up, and then if Une stays on board, you just net value. I played so many games with that card where I just sit there netting value. I've lost games to people going sick. Une pick up this Amaterasu and then Rydia to free cast the Ama, and I'm like, I can't really do anything against that. I'm like pseudo locked out of the game.
Yeah. The requirement that says you need 2 earth and or water summons doesn't mean anything when Kutsith and Miss Dragon are always being played and Sildra are being used.
I think Une would be a bit more fair if they said an earth and a water and not and or.
Yeah.
So you do 1 earth, 1 water.
Yeah.
Also agree.
Not 2 earth
it'd be
and
fair
or
if
water.
they just didn't have that. I think it as a 6-drop is still a nutty card.
It's still a good card.
Yeah,
It's
because
just
technically
it's an expensive play that you got to save till later instead of super early.
Yeah.
Or you said
that's like a turn 2 bomb that just sets your opponent back.
Yeah.
Easily. I think Une's an issue, but I don't think Une is something that needs to be banned or errated.
Une is something that could end up being an issue depending on what gets printed.
Yeah.
It's an issue with the way the decks work right now with Wool and all the defensive stuff on Protect and like Rydia protecting the Wool plays. Like Ama looping to protect your Wool with a Rydia on board is dumb as shit.
Yeah. You played against that. That felt bad.
Fucking annoying.
And that's what I lost to. Yeah. That exact deck basically is
just
what
like
I lost to in top 16.
Having cool options you could do,
felt bad.
But it didn't matter because they had a Rydia on board and a Une. They could just say, pick it up and do it because I can tap my Tyro, my Shantoto, or my my Kate Sith for any color I want. So like,
yeah, it's great. It's fun.
It's kind of unfair.
Yep.
You want to talk about the next single card that we
were talking about? You just said its name. Rydia was on the list.
Well, it's that and or Sildra. Which one do you want to tackle?
A
lot of people are going to probably jump on the Sildra bandwagon.
I think
Sildra's an annoying card.
I don't think you really Sildra.
Yes.
Sildra won.
Yeah, Sildra.
I think limiting Sildra's fine.
Yeah.
I like Sildra. That's the problem. I like Sildra. But having 3 in a deck is too consistent. I understand people's complaints about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost.
My opponent spending like every other turn using Sildra to keep their board consistently up just feels bad every time I like get it. I'm able to deal with something they can pull it back out. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I understand people think to me Sophie should have been banned, and Doga shouldn't have. We should have dealt with Doga because Doga doesn't do anything. Sophie was a problem. Sildra is now the problem because you can consistently do it.
Yeah.
It's not like you played Doga 3 times a game and went, haha, draw 3 cards. You will Sildra 3 times a game.
Doga and that was about it.
You played Doga once and sat on it.
Yeah.
Where Sildra, you go, I'm going to play it 3 times a game and search what I need.
Man, it feels bad when they have a Rydia on board and they Sildra you 3 turns in a row to your responses, and they search for stuff.
That counter?
Yeah, I felt bad because I was playing Rampair and that happened to me and to Chris McKinney. Shoutouts. He Sildra'd me 3 turns in a row, and so every time I responded to his board, he responded with the Sildra and negged my dudes and killed my dudes because of it.
We'll get to Rydia, and Rydia's
was that the Water Rydia?
Yeah, the Water Rydia.
Water Rydia will.
Yeah, so
it's a cool card. I think
it's a neat. It's just really cool. It's just when he got to Sildra and like take out options and then draw into another Sildra because he took out 2 cards that weren't going to be Sildra or a summon. Yeah, it felt pretty good. Felt pretty good to just have that happen to me.
Une's 18%. I'm trying to see where the other Rydia is.
Probably
not on here.
Earth Rydia?
Yeah.
Probably not.
CP one. I think she's a problem.
I think she is just because she plays a card for free.
Yeah.
So here's the issue: is generally you're like, okay, well she needs counters, but it's like if you're playing a Wool deck that plays Rydia,
if you're playing anything.
One, building your backups is super easy, in my opinion.
She's a 2-drop.
2, she's a 2-drop.
That doesn't take damage.
3, Fusoya's in the deck, so Fusoya adds things. You're usually playing Cecil, so Cecil gives her 2 more counters. You realistically only need 4 counters on that card, and she's done.
Yeah.
And she gets 2 from herself, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
So her plus another Cat 4 character is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she just sits there free casting whenever she wants once per turn.
And you never want to deal with it because you would rather deal with other things.
Well, even if you could, the best answer to deal with her doesn't touch her. Hecaton is your best board wipe right now,
and doesn't do damage.
And it doesn't touch her.
Yeah.
So you can't. You have to like Lightning is probably the best answer to her because they have Ixion.
Yeah.
But even then, like it just doesn't. It feels a little bad if you're. I mean, actually, no. Ixion's kind of an okay call. So
that's what I mean. It's just like if you have options, it's like it almost feels better to just go after other things and not worry about the Rydia. And then at that point, Rydia is the problem because you can't deal with. Because
you can't deal with Rydia.
Yeah.
Next, I know you guys have more.
We were talking about soiree package and how to fix that. So we said that Vesvia is a cool and neat card.
I don't want to hit any of the package except for Amber.
You personally think Amber is the problem?
I think you put Vesvia to a 1-of.
Here's the thing. I think if you put Vesvia to a 1-of, that deck's too slow and no one will play it. I think if you hit Moral to a 1-of, that deck can't kill anything. That deck doesn't get played. I think if you hit Madame Metal, you don't have an engine, you can't play it.
You don't have an engine.
You don't have things to protect it.
You hit Shinju, the deck doesn't function if they get rid of it.
Doesn't function. If you hit Amber, you don't get the search, which is fine. I guess currently you can still play things like Tyro, Cat Sith, It still color fixes Shantoto. You still get all these options to color fix and search, but you don't have the EX burst or the auto just search Shinju immediately. It means you have to hard draw Shinju and hard cast Shinju with an Earth that isn't just play Amber, get cool card, play Edel, play Shinju.
I hate to sound like this, like, for one advocate, but why not just put Amber to a 1-of? I think the 1-of EX searcher in your deck is fine, but 3 is gross when you've already played 1 and you hit 2 in your EXs.
Yeah.
Then it just feels bad. Yeah, I'm down. Like, it feels bad to hit that card to a 1-of, right? Because then sometimes it just feels like you don't want to play it because it's like it's just a 1-of. I could rather have 3 Tyro. Make sure I hit that because I need that more than I need the Amber most of the time because that's how you're gonna have to build your deck. You only have 1. You're not gonna build it around having Amber on the board. You're gonna build it around having Tyro to color fix. So at that point, it just feels like it's having to take up space rather than not having to take up space. Whereas Sildra, it's like, well, I can play a 1-of and be fine with it because I can play other things that still do something I need to do. Whereas the Amber, it gives you your soiree count, but it's just going to give you a card that can do that something else can give. And at that point, you're trying to fix into something else and not fix into soiree count as much as you are for the having Amber's Shinju on board. You're trying to color fix to do cool things, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not against having it a 1-of, but it just doesn't feel the same as like a Sildra 1-of.
I think if you take Amber out completely, that deck is even slower than if you take Vesvia out. Or if you drop Vesvia to a 1-of.
I think dropping Vesvia just makes the deck slow enough to where you don't want to play it.
Dropping Vesvia to a 1-of, in my opinion, will put people in the state of play where they're like, okay, I'll just keep sacking Vesvia to reuse her, which is fine. Because at that point, that's the only Vesvia you get. You have to do that. Which means, in turn, you're paying 2 to draw 2 every time.
Vesvia to me does not...
or whatever.
Vesvia to me is nowhere on the level of Sophie.
I just think with all the extra stuff they add in the deck that Vesvia, like, you can put in the deck, Vesvia's ability to dig 2 cards through is just gross. She's essentially another draw.
Yeah.
It's gross.
I mean, that's why you just never get rid of Vesvia. You let them do it once and you're fine with it.
Yeah.
You let them sit on Vesvia.
Yeah,
but you can't let them sit on Vesvia forever. Like, eventually you're going to have to take the board out.
But you just play things that where they... Because I've never met a soiree player that's like, well, I'm going to swing so my Vesvia dies. I've never seen a soiree player.
Dude, I do it all the time.
Sit there and go, I'm going to wait till I have the chance to play something.
No, I do it all the time, dude. When I played soirees yesterday, I swung with that Vesvia every turn. If my opponent wanted to block it and kill it, I was okay with it because I could pick it up.
Yep.
I could pick it up, or I have another one in hand and I'll just play it. Like, literally, I do not care. For the forwards in soirees, I don't care if they die because they're giving me value. If I trade effectively with another forward with a soiree member, cool, that's fine. They're probably going to take care of the Edel before they take care of the other thing first anyways because they're forced to.
I've never seen a soiree player try to give up board state.
As long as I have backups,
Vesvia, I have.
If I have backups, I'm fine because that means either I can play more soiree members or I can play other things.
Giving up board state with Wool on the deck just doesn't make sense.
Wool exists. It doesn't matter.
Till Wool's on the board, giving up board state doesn't matter.
Sure, but if Wool's on the board, then who cares?
Yeah, but at that point, why does replaying Vesvia fucking matter?
It just digs you deeper.
Because she finds your answers when you can't find them.
So it's win more afterwards. So
I mean, Vesvia's win more beforehand either. If you sack Vesvia and then replay Vesvia the next turn and draw cards that you wanted to draw, like you needed to see earlier, like I think Vesvia is the problem.
Yeah.
Honestly, the argument can be made that everybody except for the 3CP Raccoon is a problem in that deck.
I don't think Lex is a problem. Protecting Madame Metal is not really a problem in my opinion.
I think Lex is an issue because of the 1K bump and the ability to color fix.
Lexa doesn't color fix.
She's wind.
Oh, so
Wool.
Yeah. Cool. That doesn't make Lexa a problem. Lexa's not the problem.
I still think you can
color fixing for Wool does not make a card.
Sure, her ability to bump your dudes.
Every fucking backup's a fucking problem.
No, every color fixing backup's a problem, which is true at that point because of Wool.
Is Luca a problem? The water backup that gives 1,000 to all your it's not Moby. FFBE. It's a water backup that gives.
Yeah, you have a board of 9K staring at you. Luca would be a problem at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
actually, with Arc,
it's an 11K. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like terrible.
Arc Wool is very cool.
I'm not saying they're like super hard issues that need to be dealt with, but they are problems to like stare in the face of. Edel existing, one of the biggest ways to deal with Edel is usually to just pop her with a summon. That's like the easiest way to deal with Edel.
Pop the rest.
And then having Lex on board to say you can't pop my Edel, you have to get around, like you specifically have to find some way in your deck to get around this card, and then you can try and touch my board is gross.
Yeah, you have to play this 2-drop wind backup and a deck that has to play an earth backup, that plays a fire backup because that's your kill engine.
Well, your two kill engines are your fire backup and your
lightning. So you're playing
lightning.
4 different colors mained already,
which is really hard to do
and
when
you have to play Vesphia.
When you have Amber who finds your color fixer, and then your color fixer who doesn't care.
Yeah.
And you have.
I never said Amber wasn't a problem.
Amber's the problem because it finds everything else you want.
But I'm saying you can make the argument that everybody except for the raccoon's a problem.
The
raccoon's not a problem because
Vesphia digs through your deck more. Edel plays any of your cards that you want back. Amber searches anything and is an EX burst. Shinju color fixes you. Marald kills and has haste. Irwin gets to look at your hand and or just discard a card.
Like, I think Irwin's like a mid card.
See, I'm on the train.
The argument.
I'm on.
All except
see,
no,
I don't
think you make an
see.
argument.
I'm on the train that I just don't like soirees existing. I think that it's just too free of an engine to play.
I love pre-built kits.
I hate them. That's why I hate.
I think if it was a shell, it'd be fine. But Soirees really isn't a shell. Soirees is the deck with a few tech pieces added in.
I think 13's the problem. I think 13 is not a problem. I think Amber is the problem because it gives you everything else. If you drop that deck just one step down in speed without being able to search Shinju and have to actually set up your colors, that deck becomes infinitely slower, but still has the ability to pop off. But if you get rid of anything else, that deck just shits the bed. It doesn't have a kill. It doesn't have a draw engine. Doesn't have protection. Doesn't have protection for its protection.
Why does that deck need a draw engine over other decks?
It doesn't.
So what does it matter if you get rid of Vesphia?
So let's just get rid of all the Soirees. Anything with Soirees.
Yes, I'm on that track. Get rid of soirees. Get them out of there, dude.
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to fix the. If you fix,
there's no fixing that.
The way to fix the deck is you get rid of Amber.
There's no way of fixing that deck.
If they have to hard draw Shinju, they're slower. If they get it first turn, sure. But they have to ditch something to play it, and they're not going to get anything out of it.
Either ban it or keep it in.
Or they just Edel.
Yeah.
Or they Edel. But playing Edel off of just trying to ditch and play Edel to play the thing.
People do that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Is Amaterasuble. And it straight dies Amaterasu.
Cool. So this comes down to the argument of draw the out turn 1. Yeah, it's the same with Mist Dragon. Draw the out turn 1.
Draw your 1 of 3, or draw your 2 of because you.
Hey, how many Amaterasus did you play at KC, and how many did you draw accurately when you needed it?
I never drew a single Amaterasu.
And you play how many?
KC weekend. I play 3. Yeah,
this is my argument for 13. But you guys don't listen.
Well, here's the other thing. I'm
13 dies to EX burst.
13 dies to a lot of shit. Soirees can also die to a lot of shit, but the problem is Wool facilitates a longer game.
Wool facilitates a longer game and just stabilizes you.
Yeah.
The hardest.
Wool facilitates that for every
because Wool becomes the lightning rod that people want to deal with, and if they're focused on dealing with Wool, everything else just goes and sneaks around.
Amber's the problem. I refuse.
Rydia, we already talked about.
Yes, we talked about Rydia.
Soirees in general, we talked about.
An idea from one of the local guys, Althea.
Who mentioned Althea again?
Jerry.
Althea's fine.
I think
Althea's only ever a problem in decks where you want to play the same dude cheaply over and over.
Where you want decks where you want to play the long game to the point of like ad nauseum.
We don't see Althea right now because the meta's too fast. That's my argument with it. Once Wool's fixed, and if like 13 ever not becomes a problem, then Althea comes back. That's my argument.
So here's the thing. I think Althea actually can be played fast or slow. Generally, people play Althea for slower games, but Althea's ability to restand a character, I think, is nuts. People don't capitalize on Althea's ability to restand forwards. If you swing with a dude and you're like, wow, my opponent can like counter me, like counter swing on me and it will hurt. Sick. Play Althea, restand my dude. I will sit here with a guy that you can't deal with immediately.
Althea's best spot in the entire meta right now is playing Storm. And Storm's just slightly too slow because it gets slapped in the face with no defense because that's how the deck works. It's also
the only Storm decks to play are too slow in their colors.
Yeah.
Like Fire is cool, but Fire doesn't have, besides Northstalin, there's really nothing in Fire that you're going to have that's going to be a backup that searches backup and like keeps you going and like digs through your deck enough.
You can only play that in Fire Ice. You can only have that option, and that's because you play the 4-drop Agido Cadet to go search an Agido Cadet.
Or you do
Fire
Blanc for Herdy.
Yeah. Fire Ice or Fire Lightning because there's an Agido Cadet in Lightning. Those are your options in Fire.
Yep.
It just doesn't.
Althea is only ever a problem when we get to slower metas.
Yeah.
Where you want to replay big dudes over and over to get max.
Do we think the meta's too fast?
I think the meta can become too fast.
I actually think Wool's slow as fuck.
Wool is
to me is slow as fuck.
But the issue with Wool, I think, is that getting to Wool
Is
doesn't
very
ever
easy.
feel slow.
Yeah,
it's too
that's-
easy to get to Wool, and every time you try to stop them, it doesn't actually
Yeah.
hinder them.
It feels the same way. What? No. What's the?
It just reminds me of how fast Black and Magic can get. Black and Magic can get out of control real quickly. Yes, it takes a couple setups and like a couple different cards to combo off on it, but once you're set up, you're good to go. You're pretty much killing your opponent, and they can't do anything about it.
It was like
That's why Black Blue is really good right now.
what set 3 Digimon when you just played Green Ramp.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
Green
you,
Ramp.
You just
Yeah,
girdle on
hidden
people.
hidden
It's just
potential.
a combo
Yeah.
deck.
Also,
God, I wish we had that card at full cap.
Also, when Shine Greymon, yellow was very powerful because
Yep.
you didn't take that much. You put 2 TKs on board, and then you're like, all right, I'm set up with Shine Greymon now.
Like your board's gone.
Yeah,
It's just what do you do?
yeah,
It's just a combo deck with a. Wool's just a combo deck with a very big window for continuation.
yeah.
Wool,
Every hit just is another hit,
yeah.
and there's no way for you to slow down unless you hit the perfect. Like,
You find
combo
like
break.
yeah,
Like it just.
which is just super hard to do.
And the window for not failing your combo is just too small.
Too
Yeah.
small.
Yeah,
You need to
it's-
see things at a precise time, or it's just game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
If you see it a turn too late, it doesn't matter.
Wool is a slow as fuck deck, but it's a train that just never stops.
Yeah. Once you're ahead,
No breaks,
you
all
you
gas.
No breaks, all gas.
usually you're all gas. Like the only way that deck like loses if it bricks like 3 turns in a row, which it does happen.
It's just
I
the
did it.
assassin snail.
Which I just want to say. I just want to
It's
say
common.
that I'm 90% sure they're like in their head, their design for Wool was to be played in a Warrior Lights deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
nobody plays Warrior
Yes.
Lights.
If it said only this can it had some contextual like text that says Warrior of Light, specific abilities only.
Honestly,
like the
even
tap.
then, I think that'd be fine. And
Yeah.
like Warrior Lights might be a bit better, but you could still deal with them.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
two
yeah.
problem cards become Wool and Refia. And people would have builds where they either do Warrior Light forwards for Refia, or they play like Ignis and Luneth in the back row.
Well,
and go from there.
Well,
So they have at least two in the back row.
Refia needs to see Warrior of Light forwards for her to start being.
I thought it was just Warrior Lights.
No, she needs Warrior of Lights or
She only
water.
needs
Water.
2, right?
Are you talking water Refia or light Refia?
No, Water Refia.
Oh, water Refia? No, you just need 4 Warrior of Lights.
Yeah.
I was thought
Light
I was
Refia
thinking,
needs forwards.
yeah,
Yeah,
you need forwards.
I don't care about that.
No, you need 4.
Forwards?
Yes, 4.
Forwards to remove a dude. Or
Yep.
you play Water Refia who says
Says
just
tap
pull
4.
4 Warriors of Light and then
yeah.
do a
And then
quick
untap
attack
them,
dude.
and then untap them at the
Go
beginning
into
of attacks.
attacks, untap them, draw a card.
Yeah.
I also played Wool this turn, so I already drew a card and untap my backups again. And
Yeah.
then Wool restance and I go in for
Yeah.
attack. Like it's
Man, Soul putting out Warrior of Light for free is very cool.
It is really good early
That
game.
is how I killed Connor multiple times before Wool started becoming a huge problem.
I mean, I need to go back and watch what I said about Wool.
Mm-hmm.
I think I misjudged it. I may have said Wool was too slow. I think Wool was a busted card in general in terms of stats, but I think
we said keyword spaghetti. This card's nuts. But I think
But to
we
get
both
there.
said it was really slow because you have to get 4 different colors.
which
Yeah.
it's not.
It's not.
Because Princess Sarah and Princess Sarah already make 2 of your colors, and if you're playing a general Earth Water core, you're gonna play Sildra, and you're gonna play the Moogle that searches out the Water Moogle that makes fire, and you're gonna be able to search out any other backup that you need.
Yeah.
You play Tyro.
Yeah, and then you
Princess,
just need to play one last one.
Cryle, like because she's
Yeah.
a Cat 4 or Cat 5. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's dumb. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna go die on this hill now, guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
15 minutes.
I got a
Starting
timer right here.
Once-
I got a timer right here.
you
Yeah,
pulled the
yeah.
timer
I
up.
got it. Yeah, no, I got it ready before while we were
I
talking.
was also had it ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready.
So I'm starting now. Oh well.
No.
Now there we go.
You gave yourself 10 minutes. Wow.
Okay.
He was gonna give you 15.
Oh, that's fine. I only need 10 because he's just gonna say it's not a problem.
I mean, you guys.
So okay. So here's the thing. I don't think Cat 13 Lightning is a problem because it's a good deck. I think
we're done.
I think Lightning. I'm gonna pause the timer now, loser. So the problem I see with Lightning is I see it as in Magic terms. I see it as the Goblin deck, right? You're always going to see a Cat 13 deck because you always see a Goblin deck. There's always going to be a Goblin deck at locals. And so that now just puts a constriction on what people want to play because Lightning 13 exists. And so people can't play like different decks at locals or at tournaments because there will be a 13 deck. And so unless you're teching into Earth, Lightning, or some sort of, or fire, because Noah brought up the point of fire, there's not a lot of other ways to effectively stop the deck without being lucky and hitting an EX burst. Like, yeah, there's a lot of decks that play a ton of EX burst, like, but Joe Schmo from like wherever he is, who doesn't have a locals and then comes and plays at a regional tournament, doesn't know that 13 exists as a deck, unless like he did prior knowledge.
I'm gonna let you know, Joe Schmo has no reason to be anywhere near top. The game's issue.
I don't care. It's still an issue for the game because they created this card and thought it was okay. Like,
but being upset because Joe Schmo can't.
No, I'm saying that is a context of why this card is like oppressive.
That shouldn't be a context because
yes, it is.
It shouldn't be because Joe Schmo going to a full tournament, not a locals, should expect to be playing against the top tier decks. Just because 13 hits for 4 and Joe Schmo's not going to expect getting hit for 4 because he doesn't have a locals doesn't make 13 a bad deck. It makes Joe Schmo unprepared, and that's not the game's fault.
It doesn't matter. It's still no, because the game made the card.
We all went to KC not expecting to find Wool, and all got slapped in the face by fucking
I expected to see Wool. I expected it.
So I expected to see Wool. I didn't expect Wool to slap as hard as he did.
Yes.
that's the problem.
Yes.
We all went and got slapped the fuck up by Wool. Does that mean we're the game's fucked up? I don't think so. I think Wool is fine.
I think there's an.
I think Wool's a problem because everyone's playing it and is making it unfair for everything else because it's just Wool versus Wool.
Wool basically is taking over the meta.
13's not going to make everybody play 13 because Wool beats the fuck out of 13.
Well, here's what I think one of the bigger issues with 13 is. So I agree with you. It sucks to take like 4 points of damage on like turn 1 and turn 2 and get shit on, right? But generally at that point, when that happens, almost always you draw some form of an out to at least one card in your hand. One card that your opponent puts on board. The biggest problem card in 13 is Fang. Yep. Fang's power boost makes it so everything else just stacks up as lightning keeps triggering. So obviously Fire, Earth, and Lightning have immediate outs in Hecaton Chair, like Amaterasu and Ixion.
Water does too.
Water has Leviathan.
Cuchulain.
So it comes down to the thing that everybody hates as well. EX bursts. They're there for a reason. Everybody plays EX bursts in some form of fashion. 90% of the EX bursts you play are going to touch your opponent's board more than it impacts like you drawing stuff. Because Cuchulain will touch your opponent's board. Leviathan will touch your opponent's board. Tyro will obviously only go for you. Kusith will only go for you. But like generally, especially with water decks, they're touching your board constantly. So even water has its own outs.
I think everything has an out to
water 2-for-1s with Leviathan because water will bottom deck that lightning and pop a dude back into your hand. Also the issue with Cat 13 is that it only has 2 hasters. Lightning and Noel.
Doesn't the Hope give itself haste instead of searching? Or no, it kills something.
It negs.
Yeah, it negs.
It negs 1k for each category 13 character you control. So those are the only 2 problem cards you immediately have to worry about, and then you just deal with the rest of the board.
And honestly, if you deal with Lightning, the entire board's not that scary.
Lightning
bigger,
is actually only an issue when her 3rd trigger happens, in my opinion. Only because drawing a card's cool. They played their whole hand out. They need to draw that card or they lose instantly when I kill their board or kill anything. They have to be able to replace their stuff. They have because they gas themselves out. That's just how it works. It's an aggressive deck. That's how aggressive decks play.
It's 100%.
I don't disagree in the fact that it can be a gatekeeper. That's fine. I get that. Like that's something you have to take up locally because I think it being a gatekeeper locally is a problem, but I think it being a gatekeeper like a regional or whatever isn't going to be too big of an issue because everybody's teching for the higher played stuff, and like if they're going to tech for the higher played stuff, they're definitely going to tech for something like 13. I think 113 deck I saw, I could be incorrect, made tops in KC, and I think that was Ghoul's deck. Maybe I don't actually know if Ghoul was playing 13. I'm so sorry.
There was at least one. I know there was at least one.
Out of I don't know how many. There's only been 113 deck that's won a Materia Cup in my opinion, and that was at the very beginning, and that was over in the UK.
People are just scared of getting hit for 4.
Yeah. And Final Fantasy damage matters, but honestly, I think the game win matters more than the damage you take.
Yeah.
It will always matter.
I just think that if one of your responses is to rely on an EX burst, I think that's just an inconsistent thought of mind that you shouldn't be thinking like that is one of your options. That should be
to say it, but I think that's how every player in Final Fantasy will think with their deck. Is that if I hit an EX burst at this point in the game right now, it turns over. If I don't hit an EX burst here, I probably lose.
See, maybe I'm the different player that just doesn't think of that.
Choose cards in your deck with EX burst for reasons.
Yeah.
No, I understand that.
EX burst is part of the game, and if you
abuse it,
if you feel bad for it, I think you just don't like the game. EX bursts are in the game for a reason. Not liking EX burst because it feels bad because it can turn games.
EX burst,
you can hit an EX burst just as much as your opponent can.
EX burst is a mini game. It's a stats game.
Yeah.
It's how many EX bursts did you put in? What are the stats that you're gonna hit them?
Yeah.
When and where.
If
my opponent's gonna sit there and hit me for 4 points of damage, 90% of the time, if my deck's got like 12 EX bursts in it, I'm probably gonna hit one.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna fuck them up, or it's gonna boost me more.
I hate the discussion about EX burst shouldn't be in the game because I think people are just bad at the fucking game.
No.
Deck building is part of the game. EX bursts are part of the game. The idea is to put EX bursts in your deck to do cool things. If you feel bad because your opponent hit an EX burst and you didn't get to win the game because of it, feel bad because your deck didn't hit an EX burst to stop your opponent from winning the game. It's the same thing. It's both back and forth. You have the option to play just as many EX bursts as you want, to hit as many as you want by playing more, and not choosing to put them in your deck because you don't want to play them because you think they're bad cards, because you don't like EX bursts in the game and you want to cry about EX bursts.
I do want to say it just feels bad. I get why people don't like EX bursts. I get it. That's fine. But I personally, I love the shit out of them. My opponent hits one, dude, the game state changes. I don't want to keep the same constant game state.
That's the entire thing. It's part of the game.
If I play a game, like for instance, I played games against Jerry where he plays soirees religiously now. Soirees religiously since they came out.
He plays whatever meta is.
If he basically, but it's been soirees like consistently since they came out.
But yeah, meta's been soirees since it came out.
If he, for instance, like plays an entire game and doesn't hit an amber, the game's boring. I feel bad.
Nothing happened.
The game state never changes. I'm constantly on top. He doesn't get to play. Like, what does he do? But if he hits an amber, the game state changes. He gets to add cards. There's some interaction. The game, I like playing the game where there's some interaction between me and my opponent, not always me shutting them down. Now, my deck that I played was gross and had chances where I'm like, you don't really get to interact, but it gives them an option before I shut it down. Wool does the same thing. Wool gives you an option before it shuts you down. But like EX burst are your way to deal with like pseudo lockouts. You have to have them. They're a necessary evil, if anything.
Yeah, like I said, as a player myself, I just don't like to be at that point where an EX burst is what's going to save me the game. I'd rather have options outside of that before and play all those options before saying that I have to hit an EX burst now as like my first contingency plan against a card. Like
I never make EX burst. So for me, at least, I never make EX burst my first contingency. But every time I'm about to take a point of damage, I'm like, if I hit an EX here, what EX can I hit? And
I understand that.
You should consider EX burst when building decks.
Yeah, always.
No, yeah, for sure. I just don't think. I don't think when we're playing the game, I don't like a card. I don't. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Playing, EX burst on deck.
Yeah.
And that is
that's what I'm saying. Right, people are seeing this because of that, and that's their answer. Like everyone I talk to, they're like, just hit an EX burst. I'm just like, okay, that's cool. That's fine.
Cool. I'm fine if your defensive plan is hit an EX burst, because then what you're going to do is you're going to play a more EX burst that defensively fuck up your opponent's game plan. That's a fine game plan. You build your deck around to do that thing.
Yes.
And that's a perfectly fine game plan for every deck that wants to do it.
I'm not saying it's a
perfectly good strategy against 13.
I don't like it because you have to have a precognition of having to build like a EX burst heavy deck and have that reliance on that.
You only need like 12.
I don't.
If 13 is gonna hit you,
we're done.
We're done. Play 3 Leviathan.
We're done. I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off.
I don't care.
Okay, I'm cutting you off.
We're off 13 now.
Yeah,
we're just talking about EX.
Yeah, like I said, I'd rather have other game plans before saying EX burst. And like a lot of players are telling me, just hit an EX burst. I'm just like, oh, cool. That's great. That's great. That's awesome. I mean, it's just like.
So here's one of the things I hate just playing card games in general. Sorry, I'm like in and out here.
No, you're good.
Is one, I hate the just draw the out. Argument every time. I'm like, sometimes that won't happen. Sometimes your opponent's deck just pops off better than yours. It would not be a card game if there wasn't some amount of RNG to the game.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna happen.
I'm fine with getting fucked up for 4 if my opponent's deck just goes off and mine doesn't.
Yeah. Like
that's the entire KC weekend for me.
I lost my game to Jerry.
What do you mean?
I opened
That's me.
with my retainers. One of the best openings that deck can do. I played 2 backups and a Zidane for third cast. Stole 2 cards.
Heard you do it.
Yeah, I was pissed. What did he do? Fucking slapped down a Chaos, took my Zidane, and I had no answers for the rest of the game.
2 colors and he just pitched his hand?
Yeah, he pitched 4 cards out of his hand, played Chaos, and took my Zidane.
Yeah.
And I drew answers, but because I was so hastily to like try and deal with things,
it's funny as fuck.
it is. It's hilarious. I was mad at the time, but like when I think back to it, I had a Shadow Lord that I saw in my hand and a Toto that went through my hand. And if I had just kept them in my hand for like an extra turn instead of ditching them, the game was mine.
Yeah.
Like it's just how it is. Like I had the outside was just too impatient.
Right?
Yeah,
Basically
yeah.
skill issue. Yeah.
It's just.
Can't draw 3
I'm
Almas.
I'm in that.
Dude, I played 3 fucking Almas.
Yeah.
And I didn't see one like.
And I want to add,
weekend.
you do like filter through your deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
no, that's what I'm.
And I didn't see one of those 3 Almas.
That's another thing. Is like I'm with you on that because like every time. Going back, like they're just like just draw the out. I'm just like, all right, that's cool. Yeah, I don't draw those outs. Oliver doesn't draw good. Oliver has to fight with his deck.
Don't complain about this deck's too high roll. I can't win against it. I roll low. That's fucking fuck you. Like that's your fault. Don't roll low.
It's just like what do you do? All right, cool. Yeah. So like Chris one time Chris every time he's just like just draw Ixion and you'll be fine. I'm just like, huh, that's cool, right? Yeah, I play 3 Ixions. I don't draw a single one. There's inherent no good summon search. So
I want you to understand.
So
you remember when around the time I first built 13,
Yeah.
I put a 1 of Arden in my deck, and almost every game, my second turn, I would draw Arden.
Yeah. It's just like it's
not meant to be drawn. That card is never meant to be casted normally.
Know why I put like 15 of my like 16 backups in my Avalanche deck just say add another card?
Yeah.
Because I don't see things.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I
tried to fix the problem.
When I play card games, I adapt the philosophy of unless it's absolutely necessary for the deck, I'm not playing max copies of a card ever.
Yeah.
Like retainers, all of those retainers are max. I need max of them so I can see them.
Yeah.
But the new Prompto comes out. Prompto's getting kicked out. That's going to a 2 of Noctis play at 3. He searches that card.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Like I never need to play a card at 3.
Yeah, exactly.
So like things like that. Like it's
Avalanche.
Yeah.
That's why Amaterasu is a 3 of.
That's why I love Rampair. The only 3 of in that deck is Rampair. Everything else is not a 3 of.
I like to try and tech for as many things as possible.
Yeah, dude, it's so sick.
I don't like the ideas of sideboards sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I like the idea of my deck should be able to deal with what it needs to deal with immediately, and then sideboards if need be when there's other things I can't account for.
5 card sideboard.
I don't care what you say for the sideboard. It doesn't have one. It doesn't matter now.
All right, guys, we're gonna move on to the next topic. We're actually gonna
overall though. I do think the pacing of the format currently is pretty nice.
It's pretty nice. It's just If Wool didn't exist, I think everything else would be fair game to play against.
There wouldn't be a boogeyman. Wool's the boogeyman, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I hate it.
We need Swat Raise is manageable without Wool.
Unfortunately.
Paladin Meridia is manageable.
Unfortunately, either the players have to
find.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the players either have to find the silver bullet for Wool, or Square Enix has to make a silver bullet for Wool. Like that's just what it needs to come down to, and it has to be a consistent silver bullet. If not, Wool will continue to just run rampant. Yeah. That's like maybe we should just keep playing Exodus.
Completely destroy. Are we talking about Exodus the Judge?
The one that's the one that says
The Arcanist and Exodus shut down Soirees. Yeah. They're done. They don't do anything.
Here's the thing. Arcanist just shuts down Wool, and honestly, that's kind of enough.
Yeah. Okay. So next topic I have here, we're actually going to talk about underrated cards. Cards that we think that people aren't looking at, that maybe they should look at a little more, maybe find some homes for it, you know. That could sell.
The third Alma.
We know that card's not underrated.
Yeah, no.
I stand by Noctis. Earthwind Noctis.
Oh, yeah.
Starter deck Noctis.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of Earthwind decks going around. That's fair. But I think there's a lot of really good Earthwind cards that just Noctis makes better.
Gudon. Gudon's really good.
Prish.
Prish is
if
really
you
good.
have Noctis on board, you play Prish, you 9k dude, and if you use Prish as kicker, because
Ishtola?
everything's either a kicker or a horsemanship.
In that deck,
you get to play another character out of top 5.
In that deck, Ishtola Legend.
Ishtola's Legend's really good. Even the Opus 3 still. I can't remember. Opus 3,
the cancel one.
The cancel you stole. Even she's fine. 7K a dude, and you have a complete board state that they can't deal with. Because you get to cancel whatever they try to do. Because usually there's only like one option, a turn that they can try and clear your board out.
I'm a big fan of the Emperor, even though I don't think I've seen it
Which
much.
one?
The new one.
The 5-drop?
No.
Oh.
The 4-drop that searches anything on play.
Is that the ice one?
The Ice Earth one?
Oh, that card's sick.
The Warp Emperor.
You could play any
I like how we both fucking played
that.
And we play that more than he does.
Yeah, dude, that card is sick. Oh my gosh.
It's not on play. It's on when it enters due to warp, it does its ability.
No, due to effect. Due to effect.
Okay,
it's the effect.
So
like,
Cecil can do it too.
Any fucking deck and get away with it for free.
You get it's a pseudo Mist Dragon or pseudo Kuseth.
Yeah.
And then it's a 9K body.
Yeah.
That you can play.
Dude, that's sick with Arc. Yeah. I played that in Warrior of Light. Like, that card was literally a one of, because it's just like, oh, with Arc, and then like another card, like maybe Soul. You're just like,
Soirees. It fixes 2 colors.
Yeah.
I don't think this card's too underrated. I just think this card doesn't have enough support for it yet, but I think Sid Randall's nuts.
I think we'll see a lot more.
ETBs are constantly going around.
Yeah.
Being able to shut off Wool's ETB, like that, you don't ever want to play Wool.
Slows them down.
Yeah.
Also an underrated card, and I get why. It being dark doesn't help it, but I stand by this, and I will stand by this till the day I die. Ultimecia is fucking nuts.
Oh my gosh, that card.
The amount of games I played with Ultimecia where it's Ultimecia X Death, they can't play anything.
Spoiler.
And X Death keeps getting rid of everything they can play.
Spoilers. I think we should see a Ultimecia Warp deck just to let people not play the game. Everyone else has to pay more to play their dudes, but you play Warp and you just play your dudes for free, and you're just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Like, for so much cheaper.
I'm trying to think of what I'm playing.
I mean, theoretically, couldn't you just do Golbez deck with Ultimecia?
Yeah, you could.
I mean, Golbez free plays all your shit anyways.
Yeah.
And Golbez warps himself.
Yeah.
And then Vane's really the only
thing
you have to
that's what I'm saying. Golbez Vane with Ultimecia added in. I told Chris in his Vane Golbez deck he should play a one of Ultimecia, because you can find it off of Charlotta, and then you can just play it, and now you're putting dudes out, and everyone else is
I was still working on the deck, but like the Sid Randall Ultimecia where I like put both of them down, and it's like anything you play
cost one more and doesn't say
your
doesn't say shit.
Are fine, but like your forwards just get shut down.
I know a deck we forgot for like our meta discussion. Yuffie.
I think more Yuffie Ninja.
I'm too biased against that. I think it's good.
I think that deck made tops. You played against it.
I did play against it, but I feel bad. I shut that deck down.
Well, you played it. You've already played it. You know what that deck does.
Yeah, so, like, I do know what that deck does.
Yeah.
I think that deck...
Yuffie was the problem of the deck, not really Barrett.
No, but Barrett...
Surprisingly, Barrett's cool, but Barrett doesn't do anything if you keep Yuffie off board.
Yeah.
Barrett can, but like Barrett's a little slower.
Yeah.
Yuffie sped it up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like other... I just thought about it because I was trying to think of like other...
Yeah, that was a really good deck.
I'm a big fan of Man in Black if you're playing Lightning in any capacity.
I don't think Man in Black's underrated though. We all
yeah, but no one's playing Lightning. Yeah, and so like people aren't looking at Lightning, and so like
Man in Black's not underrated. Lightning's just an unused symbol right now.
Dude,
it's the same thing with like
I just love
I think Ice is a little unused outside of the Ice Lightning deck.
Yeah.
God, I wish Lightning was
had
a solid mono color that wasn't just Kingsley. I love Kingsley, but like besides just Kingsley, because like Glocka in any sort of capacity is nuts.
You can build mono Lightning Black Mage.
Even then,
it's just an X-Death deck.
Yeah, but no, I just love that. I've played so many games with that card in a deck, and I've shut down so many board states just with that card. Like it's so good, and even if you're like playing Lightning in that like a small capacity, even putting a one of that card is fine. Like that card inherently either gets you a summon that will like respond with your opponent's board state with either like saying killing one of their dudes and then saying one of their other dudes can't attack, which like there's a couple good on attack triggers right now that are really nice to just like say you don't get to do it. So like saying that they're Yuffie when they're gonna swing before attacks, and you're just like, nah, dude, you don't get to swing with that Yuffie this turn. Sorry.
Obviously, we all agree with it, but Medine.
Ooh.
Really
for sure.
We
for sure agree.
We all agree here.
Medine's I modified my deck, and I think my deck's better with Medine and Wool in it.
Yeah.
The ability to go ha ha ha, like I can ditch this card and never have to worry about picking it up.
I'm playing Medine Sophie.
I'm working on that.
I think
Medine Scions, dude. I'm working on it.
You really only need a Citra as your light forward, and you just sit there going nope. And at worst, you ditch the Medine from Citra if she's gonna die and say something can't block her attack.
Yeah.
I play Citra Titus.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just Medine.
If you have the CP to Medine, but if you don't,
then
you ditch it.
Yeah.
Or even if you have an Echidna on board, you can pitch Medine. Like, it's never a bad card to have in hand.
I'm going to be
doesn't
working.
ever feel bad.
On that train, I had one. Fuck. Continue while I think of it.
I have a deck that I think it's underrated, but that's also the deck I've been playing a lot.
Deck?
It's Rampair is one of them. I think Rampair is underrated right now, but I also think the 5-drop deck, Verstale. Verstale, being able to play like Dark Emperor and just being able to get rid of 2 dark cards, or even if you tech in maybe a couple more Emperors to just be able to.
You could play the new Emperor.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like you could play these cards and like just being able to like remove them.
Talked about it earlier. I don't think this is underrated. I think it's probably just rated as is. But this is a prelude. So Mono Lightning is a playable deck. It exists. You just play a deck essentially of all your forwards being Lightning and Odin's.
Ooh, that's a spicy one.
Not underrated. It shouldn't be rated at all.
And then,
but it's spicy though.
I think Mono Cecil.
Coming out.
Mono Cecil dot deck is gonna be a thing. There's 2 Cecils that play Cecils.
Yeah,
and a lot of Cecils have a bit like one has an ability of on enter, restand 2 backups. Like
I still like Mono Ice, like just discard engine.
Yeah.
I just don't think the discard engine's good enough anymore.
It's just too slow right now.
I think
it's fine if you set
slow,
up.
But the issue with it is that like against Earth and
I think it's fine if you can set up.
Maybe against Earth and Water, either separate or together. Mono Ice gets shit on because I discarded this thing. Cool, I'll pick it back up. It doesn't.
Yeah, I think you
discard their hand.
I think
if you play like an Ice Lightning where your goal was just pure discarding, so then you can X Death Fodder. Sure.
I mean, that's my goal, is not extra fodder, but like I just keep you handless and just keep playing cards.
Yeah, I think you have to play.
It's a deck that's always better ahead.
Mono Ice, currently the way it plays generally is always top deck heavy on both ends.
Yeah,
who can get the better card until a Physalis comes down.
I think for Mono Ice decks, if they want to play in the current meta, they have to like play both discard hack. But they also have to play some sort of like dull freeze mechanic with it too. Which is
you're forced to play Weiss.
Which is why I get away with
you have to play Weiss. You have to play
Nero.
You have to play.
But at that point, if you have to play Weiss and Nero, why are you not playing
Sviets?
Lightning? Ice Lightning.
Yeah,
like, there's no way not.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have to have some sort of dull freeze mechanic.
Where you just bring in
you have to play some sort of dull freeze mechanic with your ice deck. If not, people are just gonna pitch their hand every turn, and you're not gonna be able to. So you have to play like You have to play Ice Lightning, so you have to play like Alcid, you have to play Zeramis.
I will say, I do think Scale Toad, because of Larcacus, is a lot scarier of a card. Larcacus, I think, is underrated.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, no, yep.
The amount of games that I played when I was building my Ice Earth deck, my Ice Earth monsters, it's slow, but like once it was set up, it was good.
What I did to you yesterday was dumb.
Yeah, this man played White 2 on me like numerous times against my monk deck and kept breaking things, but I kept responding with breaks too. At least.
But if you weren't playing that deck, then it would be infinitely worse. But because you have that option.
So, like for instance, one of the things you could do is, oh cool, I drew Vigali. Play Vigali, search Larcacus. Sick, I'm set for my next turn. Next turn, ditch a monster, play Larcacus, play the monster I just ditched. I hope you have a Mist Dragon immediately. Usually, if you do, your hand's gone because you played backups or something like it.
Yeah,
I think Larcacus is a really good card. I think Larcacus is really. I don't want to say super underrated. He's a little underrated, but I think he's played kind of adequately. The more monsters they put in this deck that are lower costed of 3 or less, the better Larcacus gets.
Yeah.
His ability to go, this Scale Toad's dead in my hand, just kidding, haha.
This Blibolus in my hand is going to be played later.
Oh,
Have
look
fun.
at this Tonberry that I off-symboled.
I'm going to name a card for you. Ready? Diabolus.
You're only naming that because of the idea I have. So for anybody watching, now or later,
take his idea.
Please take this idea and modify the fuck out of it. Make this deck work. Gargus Diabolos. Or it's going to be Water Wind. It has to be because it's Gargus Tachaka Diabolos or just Tachaka Diabolos. Really, I don't care. Water Wind, Diabolos, and something that negs things. Because the whole goal is that you just play things. Water has so much Summer Recursion. And Wind also has Summer Recursion under Lulu. And Lulu's ability to make something a 5k when you cast a thing is really good too. Basically, your whole goal is everything that is too big for you to want to deal with, neg it or give it power. Or if they give it power, it doesn't matter. But neg it with Gargus or Tachaka and then go, haha, Diabolos. 2 CP break it. I'll pick up my Diabolos later.
Diabolos fucks up the, what is it? What's the green dude Swell Razor playing now? He's a warrior light.
Arc.
Fucks up the arcs.
Yeah, if they put Arc on board, Diabolos is always
It
active.
wipes the entire board.
It doesn't wipe the board, but it definitely hits the board.
Yeah.
It only kills one.
Yeah.
Oh, it only kills one.
Which is still fine.
Yeah.
Leave Arc up. Just keep popping everything up. Yeah, like, I don't care. They're like, I'm going to pick up Wool, play Wool. I'm like, cool, I'll pick up Diabolos, play Diabolos.
Wind has a Wool out.
Yeah.
I think Diabolos is nuts. And I just want to emphasize, it shits on 13 a little too.
Mm-hmm.
I won't go into that,
Fuck
but it does.
It kills the fuck out of
Diabolos, I think Diabolos, now that you mention it, now that I think about it,
it's
Diabolos is one of probably the best cards to play generally to deal with anything because it doesn't ping, it straight breaks, and there's not a lot of shit that deals with straight breaks right now.
Except like...
When straight breaking somebody is out of left field.
You remember when you're like, man, why is only lightning straight breaking?
Yeah.
Dude,
straight breaks, I will stand by this till the day I die. Straight breaks are the best form of removal in this game.
I think remove is the best form of removal. But
sure, but the
the
most consistent form of removal is going to be straight break.
Dude, I was so tempted to building like a wind lightning, like just straight break deck where you're just like doing this cool stuff. Like I was having an idea of like playing a wind lightning Medine deck in some way, shape, or form, just because you got so many outs with so many summons that like just take care of opponents' boards.
You were gonna build Earth, Water. You were gonna build Earth. What are you gonna build?
Fire, Water, Medine.
Yeah, you're gonna build Fire, Water, Medine.
Still really good.
I was gonna build Earth, Water, and he's gonna build Lightning, Water.
And I just built Wool,
and
Earth, Water.
Nobody built them.
I built the Earth, Water.
I'm working on it. Okay, I found my Ishtolas. I found my Ishtolas and my one Thancred. I need to get one more Thancred. I'm getting the 2 Oracle of Lights I need for the deck. Okay, I'm getting there. I need a little more time.
Now that I think about it, yeah, the Diabolos is a nuts card.
Yeah, Diabolos
and realistically, it's never gonna happen. But that would be Engineers kill con too. If we ever get a full functioning Engineers deck, because you just go Sid Hayes, hey, I'll buff a dude up, due to my Engineers, sick. Diabolos it.
Nice.
All right, whatever. Swing with Sid Hayes, restand on my dudes.
I don't think there's any other underrated cards.
I don't think there's too much. I think everything's played pretty adequately. Remember when Guido was underrated, and then we got Barley?
I have one. I have one, and it's Tama.
Oh, the cancel?
The new Tama's nuts.
Oh,
yeah.
It's just protect something.
Yeah.
Generic.
2 CP protect.
You can play it anything. It's just a 2-drop Earth, and everybody's fucking playing Earth right now.
Well, so here's why that Tama's good. Is because it does this. It's a lightning rod, quote unquote, and it can't be touched.
Is it a 5K?
It can be touched.
It's a 2K.
No,
it's a 5.
It can't attack or block.
You can't touch
it.
Yeah.
Block.
Yeah, but you can't touch it.
You can touch it. You just can't. It just is a magnet. So it says, or it's a. What's the word? It's not magnet because it doesn't draw attention to it. It is no, because lightning rod is the same as magnet. It would draw attention to it.
Cannot be chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities. You can't touch Tama.
Oh, okay, cool.
At all. That card just sits there, and unless you hit the board, you have to board wipe to touch that Tama.
So that Tama attack or block, so like it's just putting a dude.
Fuck, I don't care.
I'll
Kuchulate my Tama to kill you for 3.
If chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities, you can put Tama into the break zone. If you do so, cancel it.
That's the whole effect. Oh, did you try to Leviathan me? Nah, fam. That whole thing's gone.
Titus? Fuck off.
Yep. All of Titus is gone.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you bottom decked your Titus, chose my dude, I canceled it.
Yeah, but Titus still got the bottom deck.
Titus bottom decked himself.
Yeah, but he still gets his draw 3.
No.
Why?
Canceled.
No, the draw 3 is off Titus bottom decking himself.
Yeah.
So the bottom deck happens due to the bottom deck. He gets to choose one of your dudes.
I'm going.
So you only cancel the ability to bottom deck.
3.
No.
Here, I'm gonna.
If Titus goes into your deck, you draw 3. Period. That's not tight house.
When Titus is chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities, you may put Titus at the bottom of the owner's deck. When you do, choose a forge your opponent controls, put it at the bottom of the owner's deck.
That's the only thing that's going to cancel. When he goes from field to owner's deck, draw 3. Yeah, the draw 3 still happens.
That's still fine, though. You're still fine with them drawing 3.
I mean,
you're protecting your card. It's the part that sucks for Titus is not only do they draw 3,
they get rid of a dude.
They get rid of a dude.
That's the main issue.
That's the big issue. Drawing 3 is, for as bad as it feels, is better than losing your dude.
Yeah. Because sometimes they can't draw to get around your dude.
Yeah.
So
I'm
just glad I was right about Titus.
You played more than I did.
Yeah.
I played obviously I played Tama and Walk because I'm trying to get Waft to work still. But like game's too fast, and I need to play a Chu-Chat spell or I lose to a fucking Minwu. Just auto lose on turn 2. Woo!
Hey, you play Earth. Just play Heck.
So I'm only playing it in WoF, but the card's just nuts.
I mean, so currently, water, wind, water, lightning, earth, and ice. That's the other element. Have their versions of Charlotte. Ice has Charlotte. Water has Orin. Earth has Tama. We just said the name. And then Felthanos is technically lightnings. Because Felthanos just cancels. Felthanos just says you can't target. He just says you can't target yourself.
That card's sick.
Charlotte's just better, but Charlotte's Charlotte, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never forget Zeth having to play 3 Ifritas to kill a Felthanos. That was funny. That card's insane.
I actually, nice. Honestly, I think a mono fire deck would be real cool right now just because of all the Ifrits.
It'd be cool, but I don't think it'd be.
You get a free Ifrit.
The board wipe isn't big enough.
Yeah.
You need to.
And guess who still lives?
Wool.
Rydia.
Oh.
Well, no, you can kill Wool. If you have the 5, you 3K and then 7K. That's 10. That's right. You can kill Wool, but Rydia still lives, and Rydia can go free cast Mist Dragon and cancel.
You know what I actually think we might see more of if Wool still is a problem? Removal spells. The removal fire spells. Bahamut
for sure.
What's the other one? It's I think it's just, is it like 3 different Bahamuts that do it? Is that what I'm
There's
thinking?
a lot of Bahamuts that do that.
That say hit for like 10k and remove. Yeah. I think we might see a lot more.
There's
of
the one that says shoot for 8k and then if it goes remove.
Yeah.
So you have to cap them off with that.
It isn't really too hard to do.
Yeah, no. That's just what I think. Currently, Opus 19 is really cool. Besides Wool, everything's evenly paced.
Yeah.
I think every deck can contend, but because Wool exists, the only real decks that I think are worth playing are going to be Mono Water, Wool, and
honestly, just Mono Water, Wool.
And any variant of Wool in Mono Water.
Yeah.
Realistically. Yeah. 6 is really cool. 6 can probably get there just because of Sabin's ability to blow things up in Chakra, and the Stooges can kind of keep Wool tapped down. But the Stooges can only keep one person tapped down, and if Wool and Une are both on the board, you need to prioritize.
Ice Lightning can get there just because they can get advantage real quickly by tapping down your opponent's board and then just speeding ahead.
Also being able to break a tap
really
dude.
Vincent shuts it down, yeah. All you need to do is shut it down long enough to keep it down just enough to not let them play Wool, and you can't just steal the game.
Even if they play Wool, if you're able to respond to it right after, you're fine.
If you're able
keep
to
Wool down.
Yeah, if you're able to play Alcid and all that, and just Zeramus every turn and just keep it down, and then choosing it as a free target, like you have advantage state. It's just hard to get there.
I'm adding another card to watch list, Cecil. I'm adding Cecil to the watch list.
5 CP Cecil.
Yeah.
True with some of the new cards.
It makes every.
Yeah. I know. I told you that.
Does Wool need to be? No, hold on. Does Cecil need to be casted to use his ability?
To play a free dude?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it cast? I thought it was.
Or no, he enters. He enters.
Yeah.
He enters. Because we talked about it, because we were like, you could just play that Cecil and then you just play another Cecil for free in title, and you're just like, all right, cool, I have 2 Cecils on board now and they can't be touched by your abilities, so I'll let them leave when I want them to go.
Oh, can we add Zidane and
which one?
The 2-drop the mono win one.
Oh,
and Typhon still. I still want those cards fucking gone. Don't touch my cards. Don't organize my deck, please. I'm not playing 5 Minfilia, okay?
I hate you for that. Honestly, Zidane.
I want it gone for the same reasons why we talked about it being gone the last time we did a podcast.
Here's my issue with Zidane is that Zidane existing. Sorry, closer. Zidane existing makes mill decks super slow and based around that card. I want a mill deck that just mills your fucking deck. Like, I just want basic mill. I don't care if you pick your shit back up. I just want to run through your deck faster than you can do anything.
I want you to draw cards, search for your engines, while also I'm milling
because
you.
They made Buddy, we're never getting Riku back. If they ever decided to unban a card, they probably never will. But, like, Riku, never coming back. Because Buddy searches. Yeah,
yes,
she said. Oh, do you not know about this Riku?
This Riku's nuts, dude.
It's the Riku that restands things, right?
No, it's this Riku. The Riku that says, "Oh God, because I didn't put the extra K in."
I still don't see why this card's a problem.
Buddy searches this out.
Okay.
And then if you just play a mono Riku deck, you just keep mugging them. and then you're playing under everything and keep mugging them. Because Buddy exists. If they ever were like, we might think of unbanning something, this card will never be unbanned.
I don't even know what's banned right now.
Like
it's Cactar. This.
There's that one, Guido. Guido.
Cactar Dataluma at a time was really gross. Deck. I never played around that time, but I remember
that being a deck.
A guy playing it, and I watched him play that, and I went, "Oh, that's kind of gross." Every time you just ping your
Doga, didn't even ban this. Free Doga 2023.
Free Doga 2023.
Just as a one of. Bring it back as a one of. It's fine. Yeah.
Doga was never a problem.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill with James.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's a reason.
There were 18 other fucking problems with Doga decks that wasn't Doga, and the only reason Doga was chosen was because it was called a Doga deck.
Sildra still on the list.
Sildra,
Sophie,
Mashari, she's gone. Good.
Yeah.
Sophie still on the list. Lina, Ursula, all the recursion for Sophie. Are you kidding me?
If you want to,
was a problem because Sophie was easily recurable and just sat there with Mashari going, "Don't touch me."
You thought every time
Doga sat there as a 9K wall that did absolute shit all.
After he was cast.
Doga did have a cool ability when he swung.
I've never seen a single person ever fucking use that ability.
Well, no, they just sat on a 9K wall that drew them 3 cards usually.
On turn 1, yeah. You just went pitch 3, draw 3. Cool. I put a 9K dude on board.
Yeah.
But I will say with Une existing, Doga would kind of be an issue because those 3 cards you got rid of, Une is going to pick them back up.
Doga's an issue now because they printed the free summons. That's in my opinion. The free summons made Doga more of an issue.
Oh yeah.
He covers 2. He covers 2 immediately. Redraws things.
And now you have responses with 2 free summons.
Remember, my literal deck I'm playing right now is just Doga 2.0, where I play Une instead of Doga.
Yeah.
So like.
It's unfortunate.
I literally
Fun times.
That was my goal.
Any other thoughts that we want to run through? I don't want to really talk too much about newer cards. I mean, we've mentioned them, but like I don't want to sit and just waste all the time on that. Because that's when we get the full set releases when we want to do a retrospective.
And then I'll crash that one too, like I've done for the last couple.
I'm trying to think if there's anything like we missed, like meta wise. Because like I think the meta is more diverse than just
shoutouts to you know what? Hold on, let me pull this up because man deserves my respect. Because I play Kingslave, Tabletop Tavern. Shoutouts to, is it Wart? Is that Wivart? I'm so sorry if I mispronounced this. Shout out to you, Jason, for playing Kingsglaive, my guy. The only thing, yeah, he topped with it.
Yeah, you suck. You could have been him.
So everything in this deck is similar to mine, except for he's playing 3 Ixion and Ramu. He's not playing Odin's, which I play Odin's. He's also playing this spicy girl, Alua, because Shoal's cool. And he's also playing the Regis, which is super cool. And he's playing Narth when he runs out of cards in hand, and it just looks at top cards.
Regis. I think the other Regis is better.
But I play this. I play the, like, obviously all the Kingslave will stay the same, even the Noctis and the Aranea. Like, all that's fine. It's just he plays, like, Alua. He plays Hooded Man, which is a smart move, which I put Hooded Man in mine. Ixion into 3 of, and, like, Clan Gully to search out Lua.
He was planning for 13.
Oh, for sure.
I actually, honestly, I don't know what this deck does without Ixion versus 13. I really don't.
Noctis.
Noctis.
Yeah, so you have to have Noctis out like turn 2?
Noctis
like
Nyx.
Free play.
Noctis Nyx.
Noctis Nyx will shut 13 down too.
Yeah.
Either Nyx, because Noctis says every time you play a dude and every time a dude goes from field to break zone, dull a thing. I don't even care if they have a Nolan on board. It's really funny when you killed my dude and dulled one of my dudes, but because my dude died, I get to dull one of your dudes. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
Turn 2. I think that's harder.
It's not. Yeah. Noctis gets cheaper for every cat 15 in play. So if you put 2 backups down, he's a 3 cost.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If you put 3 backups down, or you go, like, theoretically, one of your better plays.
You have to build enough backups turn 1 to then draw.
You only need to build 2 backups for Noctis.
Draw the cards, idiot.
Yeah, draw the out.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean,
Ilya's pretty cool.
Also, you're playing Aranea, so if you EX person Aranea, you're breaking things.
I mean, obviously.
The cards
playing
nuts.
3 of it.
Yeah. Card's insane. I play more EX person in mine just because I like to have that. I think Odin's nuts. I'll stand by that till the day I die as well. Even if you can't touch 6 drop. I think 6 drop. I also think 6 is the magic number right now in terms of forwards. If your forward's a 6 drop, it's probably not getting touched for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing Shinryu.
Yeah. Unless nobody's playing Shinryu, which is why they get around it. Yeah, that's it. Shinryu is the only.
Well, hey guys, say hi to the population of Shinryu users.
Yeah, here's one of them. I mean, it's a cool card. I don't say Shinryu is bad. It's just not.
The problem is nothing right now is 3, 6, or 9.
Worth hitting because Wool's a 4.
And all the 6 drops do something on enter, and that's it. They don't continuously do.
I guess for 3 drops right now are like Titus, Lena, and the 6 drops are Ash. Ash is a 6.
Ash is a 6-drop.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Une's a 6-drop.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, that's basically it. I don't really have anything else I want to add to this. I think we covered problem cards we think are underrated. I think the format's super cool. I think you take Wool out, it's probably one of the healthiest formats the game's had. But I've also only started playing the game since I think
if we
a
took
little
out
past
Wool,
Opus
we'd see
8.
a lot more things. Because I think there's a lot of really good players with
Until
a lot of good decks.
Wool came into view, like people were like, Wool is the deck. There were so many cool decks out there.
And there's a lot of
every deck was viable.
There's a lot of really cool deck builders and good players right now. Fucking playing Wool, and it's fucking annoying. We have so many cooler decks right now.
I want to see here. Hold on, give me a sec. Let me go.
What was the regionals that we saw that cool Terra like play a lot of summons, dull freeze their dudes out. Like it was multicolored. It was pretty sick. We were watching it on stream. No, I don't remember.
That was. Oh god.
That was because that was a pretty sick deck.
That was the first. Wasn't that the first Materia Cup of the season?
Yeah, because we were watching.
So it was Florida.
Yeah. So we watched that one, and that was before Wool, and that was a pretty sick deck.
Materia Cup.
Just saying, because they would use Althea to pick up. They would pick up their. They'd use Althea to pick up their own Terra, and then they'd play. They'd play Terra again, and then they would reveal.
Yeah.
Then they would.
I was like, "Why is Chris there?"
Yeah, he's the.
Chris, we love you. Don't worry.
We weren't looking at 113th through 116th at all.
Yeah.
That came after, right? No, wait.
No, he was the judge for that event.
1st to 16th.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I was in this.
Yeah.
So Wool deck, Wool deck, Wool deck, Wool deck, Wool deck, Wool deck, Wool deck. Well, actually, hold on. Okay, Wool deck. I just had to double check because one of them was yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Wool decks in top 16.
Can you search a specific card from this list?
Yes, you should be able to.
What are you looking up?
I want to see how many Wools were your decks.
18 copies of Wool, 6 decks.
Okay. Each deck maxing.
Sorry, so one of them was not a Wool deck, but there were 6 decks.
Maxing 3.
But still,
playing Sarah. I like these sets.
I was part of that. I was a part of this. I was a part of this. I was nope.
8 Sildra, 8
No, actually, I didn't play Tyro in my deck because I think Rydia's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree.
Miss Dragon for sure. Hecaton
Rydia gets you 2 cards.
And I want you to
like that.
This entire lineup is all the Wool.
Is a Wool deck.
Yep.
Yeah, it was great.
Wool's a problem.
Wool is a problem.
Like I hate to be the Doom.
Like I
hate guy,
I hate banning cards. I think banning cards should not be a thing. Actually, honestly, I'm fine with 1 Wool. I would be fine with 1 Wool.
They're forced to pick it back up, and if I Modine it, it's gone for good.
Yeah.
I'm okay with 1 Wool.
I'm done with 1 Wool.
I'm down with 1 Wool.
I instantly thought about it and went, you know what? I'm not okay with banning 1 Wool. Same thing, Sildra. 1 Sildra. It's not like Amber where like your deck wants to play it.
It's just a win more card.
It's where like Amber's a win more card. Wool is a 1-of that you want to see, but you don't want to plan around.
Here, 13 got second here, so it topped, but it didn't. It couldn't get passable.
I like that name.
Let's see her.
But
Hardly
then
know her.
her.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a very good name.
Here's the deck I lost to. Congrats to Muhammad for 3rd on that. Obviously, feels bad. Deck. Yeah, it's a Wool deck.
Yeah.
Squirtle combo. Is this Sam? Who's the? Whose deck was this? Was this Sam Tool? No, maybe. Let me double check. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
No, it was Sam Tool. I beat that deck.
Squirtle combo.
I sit on that. Sam, I played Sam in round 2, and he was like, "Oh yeah, dude, he did really good too. He won Swiss with this. It's just monsters.
Yeah,
it was really good. I watched it. It was super cool.
Guys, play more monsters, please.
But no. Shout outs to Sam Tool. Obviously, when he played against my deck, he was like, "I think your deck beats Mono Water like almost all the time." And I was like, "I think." Because I played against Mono Water so much, I was like, I think my deck is like maybe 50-50, maybe 70-80.
Like
but like
this.
I don't,
Play
or
what you know.
70-30. I don't think my deck wins super much. I don't think it always wins. I mean, yeah.
It's just a main.
Can we talk about how Momo went there, played Mono Water, and also like didn't get into tops? I feel so bad.
Well, like here's the thing. We talked about how all of us were like scooping up locals every other week, not having a single problem. All of us showed up and just got scooped up.
Hey, Village in the Mist, my guy.
Yeah.
What a cool deck.
Yeah, what a cool player.
What a lucky player in round 4, am I right?
Fuck you. I refuse. Okay, podcast over. I'm done with it.
We're done. Okay.
That's the end of this podcast.
Yep, that was the last string.
Hope you enjoyed. And as always, James would say,
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Yep, that's exactly what James would say.
Stay learning.